Hmm? Ah!
You're listening to the Run for Your Lives podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Daphne.
And I'm Pake.
And this is the Run for Your Lives podcast.
This episode, we're talking about the animated musical urban fantasy film KPop Demon Hunters, directed by Maggie Kang and Chris Appelhans, and released June 20th, 2025. And it is the next episode in our series of Oscar season movies. Why am I talking like the announcer guy in some
I don't know. You just are.
I start talking Oscar stuff and I feel like it's like an awards thing or like some kind of show. I gotta announce it. K-Pop Demon Hunter!
Well, you know, we do like to cover Oscar films, especially when it gets this time of year, and we have a bunch, as we've mentioned before. We're able to cover, I think, 4 at this end of this season. We've already covered a couple of nominees prior to this with Weapons and Sinners. We kind of were precogs when looking at that. We kind of knew that those might be 2 that came up on the list, so we covered them ahead of the time. Plus, I wasn't going to wait around and watch them later. I really wanted to get to both of them now.
Oh, absolutely. I'm so glad we covered them. When we covered them, had a great time with those. This is one that I watched back around when it came out, the end of summer, midsummer, whatever. Not midsummer. It's not the movie Midsummer, but midsummer. Whatever. When this movie came out, and I just off the rip, I'll tell you, I really love this movie. So I'm excited to talk about it, and it's good to get back into like an animated feature here because we haven't done that in a little while, so it's always good to come back to that. As always, I'm sure with our posts on social this week, when we do these animated movies that are for kids to watch, that are okay with kids, we also try to make our episode the same way, so all the horrific foul language we're usually known for. No, I'm just kidding. Not really, but we leave it.
I do drop an F-bomb once in a while, and so do you.
Only once in my whole life.
Hey, this podcast is not normally PG-13, so
PG-14. No.
Yeah. No.
That's a joke to one of my favorite kids in my life right now. Anyway, but yeah, so this episode will be more kid-friendly, so yeah, we won't be saying all the bad words. So if you got kids that are into this movie, then they definitely can listen in with you. If because kids love podcasts. That's a very well-known thing.
Yeah.
Kids love sitting still for hours, an hour to 2 hours, and just listening to people talk with nothing visually to stimulate them in any way whatsoever. That's kids' favorite thing.
Yeah. I thought about telling my sister-in-law that we were covering this movie and that the girls could listen, but then I realized maybe Rachel might want to. Elizabeth would not be into it, so no, I'm not even going to bother. It might come up at some time, but I don't know. We'll see.
But, at least if you have children in your life that are in the immediate vicinity and you want to listen to this, their little ears are safe for this episode, at least.
Yes. We have a number of episodes that are safe for kids to listen to, but this will be one of them too, and if I get too feisty with the F-bombs, I will remove them. So, that will be what I can do to contribute to keeping this rated G. So we'll kick this off like we always do with a few production notes. It received 325 million views within its first 91 days of release, making it the most watched Netflix film of all time. It won Best Animated Feature and Best Original Song for Golden at the Golden Globe Awards. I guess that makes sense. Golden at the Golden Globes.
The whole award ceremony was named after the song from this movie. So.
Well, yeah. Years ago, before the movie came out.
They knew it was going to be a hit.
Sure. KPop Demon Hunters was nominated for Best Animated Feature and Best Song Written for Visual Media for the song Golden. Based on the success of KPop Demon Hunters, they have greenlit a sequel that is coming in 2029. I don't know that I want to wait that long for a sequel, but okay. And I kind of like the way this one ended, so I'm not sure I want a sequel at all.
Yeah, it's one of those that the way this wraps up, you're like, well, what are they going to do with the sequel? I mean, they don't hit like the full like gold and shut everything off. It's like Gwami was kind of defeated. I don't know. So like, what's the demon threat they're dealing with? I don't know. They've got 3 years to figure that out. So if that's what they're doing. But I think if it was just standalone, I'd be happy with that. I think it's the first time I've even heard anything about a proposed sequel, and I'm like,
it just came out. And the thing is, though, Maggie Kang is behind it. She's the one that's going to be working on the sequel, so we'll give her some time. It's in her hands. She created this.
Yeah. As huge as this is, of course they're going to try to capitalize on that, and if they can put something together and make a sequel, why wouldn't they? Because, again, I bring it up because I do volunteer work in elementary schools. The amount of kids, a lot of girls, some boys, that I have seen with K-Pop Demon Hunters merchandise or like singing the songs or all that stuff in the schools for the past, this whole school year. Yeah, it's insane. It's huge. Or even just like going out to like stores and seeing how much stuff is still everywhere for this movie.
Even American Girl has made dolls with the hair and everything. Mm-hmm. It's very, very cool to see everywhere. I was big into American Girl because I had to learn how to fix the dolls for my nieces. And so I still follow some of the creators on YouTube, and some of them that have been dormant for a couple of years, like they stopped making content, are now reinvigorated and excited about them making these dolls, and so they're back into it again. So it's kind of interesting to see that happen.
Yeah, it's I think they've even done some like private like theater screenings of stuff. Halloween last year was, everybody wanted to be Huntrix. So a lot of that, the merchandise is crazy. But then even to the point that it is spun off, I've seen and got like ads for like K-Pop Demon Hunters like knockoff events and stuff going on in like small towns and stuff, where it's like the closest thing they can get without breaking copyright of whatever their own like live show for kids. Come watch these K-pop hunter women, like singing songs. It's so weird. But I mean, it's a phenomenon for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, I remember when this first came out, my nieces were running around the living room singing Golden. And then the Soda Pop song. And I didn't know what the heck they were doing. I had no idea. Now I definitely do. I've been indoctrinated into the cult of K-Pop Demon Hunters. And I actually like K-Pop music, so for me, this was a lot of fun. Yeah.
I'm not a K-Pop person really at all. There's a few songs I've heard that I've enjoyed, but not really my forte. The soundtrack to this movie is fire. I love it so much.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. So the budget for this movie was $100 million. It grossed $24.7 million at the box office. I'm sure that honestly, the merchandising, I would love to know how much money it's made on merch, because it has to have exploded.
Yeah. And again, that's from like, those like smaller theater showings and stuff, because this is a Netflix original, so the actual amount of money that was made by this movie we'll never know, because Netflix keeps all of those things under lock and key ridiculously for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why. I really would like to have information on that. Like, would make sense to let people know, like, what's happening. You know, we need to understand the streaming, how financially this streaming thing works. I don't know. I mean, take a percentage of the Netflix subscription price. How many of them watch this movie? I don't know.
I don't know how their algorithms work. Yeah.
You know, I have no idea how it works. Anyway, it was 95 minutes long. Pake, give us a synopsis.
All right. A world-renowned K-pop girl group balance their lives in the spotlight with their secret identities as demon hunters. It's kind of self-explanatory, but yeah.
Yeah, they are demon hunters.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting. They got some interesting people to do the voices. Like, not the main characters as much as, like, some of the side characters. Like, Gima is voiced by Byung-hun Lee, who I know as the front man from Squid Game. Ken Jeong as Bobby, who, how do you not love Bobby? He was so much fun. He was doing so much to help them and keep them. I didn't know if he was their manager or their assistant, because he was behaving as both.
Both, I think, yeah. I've got a lot of just, like, casting notes through there. So yeah, Kim Jong's voice immediately recognizable as Bobby, and then Gima is Lee Byung-hun or Byung-hun Lee, depending on how you look at frontman. Yeah, the big band does a good job there. I have, let's see, a couple more. I know there's two more that I definitely wanted to point out, which is Healer Han that we see, the doctor.
Oh my gosh, yes.
The tonics and stuff that Zoe brings Rumi to is Daniel Day Kim.
From Lost,
from Lost, and I think, what did he do? Hawaii Five-0?
He did Hawaii Five-0, yep.
Lovely man. We'll name drop for a minute. I have had the honor of meeting him, and he's wonderful in person. He's great. So, gotta give a shout out there. And then, of course, another fun voice acting note is Abby Saja, one of the Saja boys, the one with the ripped abs and the buttons that cannot stay attached on her shirts. He is voiced by YouTuber and Dropout collaborator Sungwon Cho.
Okay. Also, Ji Young-yu, who voiced Zoe, played Megan, Max's stepsitter, in Until Dawn, which we covered on this podcast.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah. Is Abby the one that made everyone, or not everyone, basically Mira and Zoe cry popcorn out of their eyes?
Yeah. What an interesting visual that, like, the steps you have to go through for that to make sense. Because what it was her eyes turned into his abs.
Yes.
Which then transformed into corn cobs, because it was the...
Okay.
The cross... cross lines of corn on the cob. So the abs turned into corn. And then, of course, that corn got hot and buttered up, and then steamed and eventually popped. That was...
It's funny because the other night we were having this conversation when we were recording Buffalo, and Jeff was mentioning he had watched this movie and that he was confused by the whole situation. And
yeah. I think it makes perfect sense. Abs turn into corn, turn into popcorn after you put butter on it and heat it up.
Yeah, no.
What else? It's science.
So I didn't know what to think when Jeff was mentioning this. All I thought is, I'm going to be watching a hot mess of who knows what when I watch this movie. And I ended up liking it a lot. It touched me in ways I wasn't expecting, just because of personal experiences, and I just don't expect a movie like this that seems like it's pop culture-y fun to have parts in it that I connected with so closely.
Yeah. I think that's what makes this movie such a huge hit, is not only is the soundtrack incredibly well written and catchy, and like, because like a lot of time, like animated movies, big Disney movies and stuff can have good songs. I mean, hey, we don't talk about Bruno. It got around. It made its rounds on the radio and stuff in places, but even then it feels musically like from a musical film, or very, not pop music. But for whatever reason, this soundtrack has transcended to where people know these songs that have never seen this movie. Just because, I mean, I have notes about it, talking about Golden. Where did they go? So yeah, so we talked about Best Animated Feature, and then also Golden. The song Golden is nominated for Best Original Song in the Oscars. That's why we're covering it now in Oscar season. There's those 2 nominations. I have heard all but one of the nominees for Best Original Song so far, and I don't think any of them have a sliver of a chance against Golden.
Yeah.
And it's a sensation on its own already. Global success and play outside of this movie, alive from it. So from what I could tell, I tried to do a little digging. I did a lot of random tangent digging while doing notes on this one today. I think currently right now it is holding its 20th week at number 1 on the Billboard Global excluding the US chart, which is a very specific, weird chart, but it's topping that for 20 weeks right now, I think right now. 18 weeks being on the Global 200.
Wow.
And the Billboard Hot 100, it held the number 1 spot for 8 weeks in a row. And it is still on that list, and it has been on the Billboard Hot 100 for 32 weeks right now. It currently sits at number 4 on both the Hot 100 and the Global 200 as of today, when we're recording this.
Wow, that's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, so it's the biggest success imaginable for them, like in real life. This fictional band has taken the real music world by absolute storm. So of course, Best Original Song at the Oscars, I'm like, feels like a shoo-in. Also, I haven't finished all of the animated feature noms yet, but I don't think any of them really stand a chance against this movie in that category either. It's tighter. The other ones I have seen are the Disney selections, Zootopia 2 and Elio. But I don't know. We'll see. But I think K-Pop Demon Hunters might be a shoo-in for... It may go 100% for the nominations it has. And it wouldn't surprise me at all.
That is cool. It was interesting to me, too, that they cast different people to do the singing voices versus the actual character voices. It never occurred to me that they would or they wouldn't do that. Like I said, did not know much about this movie other than it's everywhere. I didn't know what the story was other than they were demon hunters. And we talked about it when it came out that, oh yeah, we can probably cover that at some point. And then it made sense to wait until the Oscar nominations came around.
Yeah, because it felt like pretty early on, like I think right after seeing it back in like June, I was like, yeah, this is getting a nom for Best Animated Picture at least, so...
Yeah.
We'll see it, for sure.
Yeah. So, where do you want to start?
Let's start at probably the most classic and best place to start. The beginning.
Okay.
Because again, I've been doing this a lot lately, and I gave you the option today. I said, we can just do things chronologically again, since it's all kind of a narrative, one-way kind of thing. Or I can break it up as far as like we have Huntrix and we have Saja Boys and we have some other side things. And then you're like, your choice. And I was like, well, I'm going to be lazy and the easiest one is what I'm going to do. So we're going to just do what we've been doing.
Someday we'll cover a movie again where it's just one character driving everything, but I don't know. I feel like Rumi was the main character in this, and everyone else was involved with her, but she was like the catalyst for everything. Like everything happened through her, so it makes sense to cover it this way.
Yeah. It's, for sure. I mean, her relationship and struggles with her friends, her group, the band here, definitely like, a big part of her story here. But then, Genu, like the rest of the Saja Boys kind of, they're there. But definitely Genu and his story, but it ties in so much with a lot of their conversations and things with each other as well. So just starting at the beginning, we see Huntrix, which is the current trio in this succession of warriors carrying the task of protecting the realm from the demon realm run by Guimar. using their abilities of music to create and sustain what they call the Han Moon, which is this barrier that keeps demons at bay. Most of the time, mostly, it's got to be strengthened and constantly. That's why they tour and they are a full-time band, is it's constantly needing to be strengthened, and it's a tower defense game. You know, always having to keep checking in. So this Idol Awards is their big thing. It's a big strengthen for the rest of the year. But of course, there's also this ultimate goal that all of these different generations have been building towards that seems to be this is the group that's going to finally do it, is the Golden Han Moon, is where they're able to have so much power, so much connection, so much energy that it goes from blue to gold. It's very just the visual symbolism, but basically making it so strong that it closes off any connection or possibility of the demon realm being able to pass over ever again, shutting off Guima and the demon realm forever, and fully saving humanity from the demon realm and it coming over and taking their souls and yada yada yada. So that's kind of their main goal.
Reminds me a little bit of Welcome to Derry and the whole we have to keep the circle safe, like all of that. And it's an awful lot of pressure to put on 3 teenage girls. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're a demon hunter. You've got to protect the world, save the world. Again, like the Lucky Seven. It just reminds me of that.
Yeah. So yeah, Huntrix, these 3, we have Mira, Zoe, and Rumi, and they're best described by their own special flavors of ramen that they... We see them eating in the plane because of the ones, their pre-show ritual got a carb load, and they all, the little cups of ramen that they're eating out of have their own name and special stuff on them.
Yes.
So, of course, Mira is the Spice Queen flavor because she can be quite fiery. Yep. Zoe has hamburger. She's the American. Rumi is just superstar flavor, whatever that means. I don't know what that tastes like. She's the head. She's the pop queen.
Yeah, honestly, that part just reminded me that I'm supposed to have ramen with my friend Elliot, and I keep forgetting to schedule that, so I need to do that.
Love it. Ramen's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get their first song number of the movie. It is a musical film. A lot of great music in here. How it's done, which is a great introduction to them and just kind of the vibe of the movie. It's a really super cool plane and mid-air fight scene as the hunters are beating up some demons that were trying to kidnap them in their own plane and then go after the fans. It's like, nah.
No, it's not on our watch.
Huntrix rolls. Not how it's going to happen.
Yeah. They were not going to let that happen. They're like, we have to protect the fans.
Yeah.
Man, how many times do you think that happens? How many times do you think our musical artists go to bat to save us before the concert? Is there some demon realm that we don't know about that's out there?
I mean, probably. I'm pretty sure that's what, like, Lady Gaga's up to before every performance.
You know what? I think she probably is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Taylor Swift is having, like, a katana fight in the green room before she comes out to perform every night of the Eras Tour, so...
I believe it. I mean, honestly, I feel like there are some that you can look at and be like, yep, sure, absolutely. They would be the ones that would be out there fighting it. Mm-hmm. They would be the ones that were, battling the evil. Ed
Sheeran is like walking through a portal from some kind of Mortal Kombat style save the world situation before every show.
Yep. It's what has to happen. It's, we rely on it. You just never know what they're doing to save us before going out and then pouring out their soul in the performance.
Yes, pop stars, the true heroes of this world.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the music a lot. I thought right from the beginning. And I also don't feel like it was overdone. Like, in some musicals, you watch it and you're like, oh, does it have to be so full of music? In this case, I feel like the music really did serve well as conversation points.
Yeah.
When it needed to, and to move the story along. So I really liked it. It had a good balance.
And a lot of it Yeah. A lot of it being performances by a band helps make a lot of sense too. And so we get that, what it's, or how it's done number when they come crashing back down to the stage and you're seeing the reaction of the audience. And it really sets like the actual, like the idea of the Hanmoon and how it's created, not just by the energy from the band, but you see like the hearts lighting up in the audience members, that it's like being created in the fans of the music, that it's connection, safety, support that's shared through a connection to music, which is like a very real thing, this universal language that can bring people from all walks of life together. Like music truly is healing in a lot of ways. And so I like that theme in this movie, that the music is what is drawing or driving.
It's a character.
This barrier.
It's a character itself. And we've said that before with different movies, that the music can often dictate the mood or the story in ways that a character would. And so this is a situation where very much it is a character.
Yeah. So that's where we get them. And then I guess we go to the other side, the underside.
The underbelly of the world.
Flip there. We meet Guima and realize, he's the one that they're trying to hold back through the Hanmoon, hopefully the Golden Hanmoon. And we meet Genu, a demon boy band. Absolutely. And I mean, he has a great voice, that way he's introduced playing and singing. And we meet him as he's talking with Guima, which he's a very selfish demon, wanting in exchange for his demon boy band stealing the Hanmoon energy from Huntrix and keeping them from achieving the Golden Hanmoon. What he wants in exchange is the memories of his family and what happened to them, or we're going to jump spoiler ahead, what he did to them, erased. And it's out of selfishness. That's a whole arc and story reveal that we can get to later. We'll save that. But that's kind of how we meet him, is that's what he's planning to do here. I did love the little joke of the like, what makes you think that will work? And they all just like strike their little pose.
I
like,
know.
Oh, you're all super hot. That's how it's going to work. Got it. Carry on.
Yeah. I mean, really. I mean, they're perfect for it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. That's... Yeah.
Don't even know why I questioned it. You know what? You're right. When you're right, Genu.
Well, and all the other demons around seem to support it as well. Like, they all were like, yeah. And so you just wait, because you know that they're gonna, like, appear and probably look transformed into, like, more human-looking people.
Mm-hmm. Although I kind of like their demon version better.
I don't know. When they came out as demons at the end. No.
That's my favorite performance of the whole movie. It's for real.
What?
Your Idol is so cool.
Oh, really?
So cool.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I know the lyrics were quite...
Yeah, I love it.
Damning.
It's so good. Yeah, I love it so much.
Yeah, you would. You like the dark stuff.
I do love the dark stuff. Absolutely. I was like, oh yeah, they're coming out with like the black hats and the coats and the super just like literal demonic energy and like visuals. And I was like, see, this is a concert I would be at. I like this.
What you would prefer though is if they were going.
Well, hopefully not like that, because that.
You always make fun of my imitation of some of those bands, but that's what it sounds like to me, growling. That's what you would like better, is if they were growling at you.
I was going to admit some good, like, deathcore, metalcore, like, K-pop Demon Hunters, but then that actually, this will probably never get out to the audience, but I don't know if anybody will know, but there's a kid that I, like, follow on socials stuff, Cage Archer. He's probably, like, 14, 15 or something, but he does a lot of deathcore, metalcore, like, covers and stuff on his, like, TikTok and Facebook Reels and stuff. And he did his own cover of Soda Pop a while back, and I was like, this is fun.
You like that stuff. That is your world. You're into it, so of course you're gonna...
So shout out to Cage Archer. My little Soda Pop.
That's the imitation that I would try to do, and it never works, but in my head, that's what it sounds like.
So yeah, after this tour, that was the last show of their tour, back on the upside with Huntrix. So they get a huge, big, long break. They're going to get an entire 2 weeks. Which, you know, in the realm of touring musicians, what a long break that is.
Yeah, but you know what I learned about these three? They don't know how to take a break. They really don't. They don't. The concept of prolonged relaxation doesn't really exist in their world.
Couch. I love couch too.
Yeah.
But yeah, they think like 2 whole weeks and then we'll be rested and ready to get back at it. Good for you. Except no, that's not even going to happen, because after seeing Gold, Strands, and the Hamun at that concert, they're in the home stretch. So Rumi drops the huge final push single that they've been sitting on, which is Golden.
Yeah.
Talked all about that. And even in the movie, immediate super smash hit. So it's like back to work, promo time, literally the same night. They're just like, yeah, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it comes with the reveal of Rumi's truth, who Rumi is and what's really going on there. We see why she's so gung-ho on, there was Gold, we got to push it, put out the song, get promo, play live. And it's like, man, what does she, you know, which even...
Bobby?
No, even Mira calls her a workaholic to Healer Han when they meet him later.
Yeah.
So, like, this is definitely part of her, like, personality anyway, but especially now, it's not necessarily that she's just like, oh, always workaholic, gotta keep going, but we learn why she's so ready to rush this and just like, let's do it. She has patterns, as they refer to him in the movie. She is part demon. And that is starting to affect her singing ability. Because, not necessarily because of the patterns themselves, but it's the shame, the fear, the things that are tied in with that.
Yeah.
Jump ahead a little bit, is because when she starts talking with Genu and she starts feeling more comfortable about who she is, the singing issues are going away. So it's more mental, it's more internal.
Yeah.
But it's this fear of what she is underneath the shame of it, that she doesn't believe people will accept her, that she feels like whatever she is not worthy of what other people are or have, or people won't understand her. And so it's this metaphor, obviously. I think, it's great for kids in this movie, is like learning to like the things that make you different, the things that like other people may not understand, your quirks, whether internal, external, whatever they may be, that like, no, who you are is who you are. There's no changing that. There's no, embrace yourself. Be who you are, and, don't expect yourself to change to fit the mold of the world. That, like, you'll find your people and you'll find where you matter. And I think it's a really great message for this movie. And so we see that through her storyline here, that she's terrified of what this could mean. Instead of speaking to her friends, she's been hiding it, which, of course, it's a whole other kind of theme, is the external forces that push that onto kids. And then even people is like, her caretaker, her guardian, Celine, has even told her, no, you don't talk about it. You push it down, you conceal it, you hide it. It's a secret. You don't tell your friends. You can't trust anybody. Which is terrible advice, because you see the toll it's taken on her.
Well, because when you know that you're different, or you're quirky, or you're weird, or however people look at you, there's so much pressure to take that and like bury it within yourself and just be like everyone else, because the point is you're going to be too much or not enough or not what people expect, and they're going to quit on you, or they're going to leave, or they're going to not want to be around you. And that I related to so much. The pressure that's put on people to be a certain way, when if we were all the same, it'd be quite a boring world.
Absolutely.
But I get the pressure to internalize and not be too much, because if you're too much or you're not what people want, they're not going to want to be around you. And when the secret comes out, they're going to bolt, Like, it's not fair to think that, but that's, I think, what, unfortunately, a lot of kids believe, is that they can't be who they truly are.
Yeah. And it's, in retrospect, because you think about it, like, if this movie was different, if she was in a position where she would have talked with Mira and Zoe early on and been able to be open with them, with their relationship is great, to say, like, hey, I know this is what we do, but I have these patterns. I am part demon because of just where I come from, but I'm still fighting with you to, we have the same goal, and it doesn't change who I am as a person. I think that they would have absolutely accepted her and loved her for all of it. Why it becomes the issue is because of all the time that she's, like, pushed it down and hidden it, to where now it has become a thing that she has lied to them about for all these years.
Yeah, and when you break someone's trust, like, if they trust you and they're your ride or die, and you're theirs, and you trust each other to that point, to be there, to be that force, that person, and then you find out that what you thought was true, or what you've been going on, isn't the case, it changes how you look at that person because of the lying. Whereas if you had come out in the beginning, in the first place, and told the truth, it would have been difficult, but at least you wouldn't have been dealing with the trust issue behind it of, how do I trust you now? How do I believe in this? Yeah. When what you've told me is, how do I believe what you've told me when you've lied about this the whole time? Yeah. Or they're just going to think that you're, not, that they never should have trusted you.
Yeah. And with this movie specifically, it's all of the things that now have happened, all of the, kind of sneaking around behind backs and, like, things that she's been doing to preserve herself. Then when the secret comes out in a way she doesn't want it to, now it looks like she's been not just lying to them, but, like, actively working against them because of just the way that things look. Yeah. And it's just that if their trust, and openness was there from the beginning, that honesty was there, that wouldn't be something that I have to worry about.
And the thing with trust and honesty is that sometimes when you can really trust somebody, you're going to have conversations that are not always easy, and there are things that are going to come out that are going to hurt, even if they're inadvertent. But in the end, if your relationship is that solid with those people, you can weather the storm.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so, this is her big kind of thing that she's been sitting on and holding and keeping secret. And so why we see her being just so quick to, like, we're putting the song out, we got to do this, is if they seal this demon world off, she's been told then that her patterns will go away with it, and that part of her will disappear. And so that's why she's in this hurry to, like, push this song out, get the full golden Han Moon, because she's in a hurry to get rid of this before she has to tell the secret. Just push it under the rug, make it go away like it never happened, like it never was a thing. And then, hey, now I don't have to talk about it because it's gone now. We've gotten past the thing that we need to talk about.
Yep. It's like it never existed and no one needs to know.
Yeah. So we see the toll it's physically taking on her with the patterns kind of growing and spreading. But then also the mental block, she's not hitting the notes of the song. She's struggling with this. It's affecting her voice. It's affecting her as a performer. And she can't tell her friends, her bandmates, about what the truth is behind it. So she's just, I'm just feeling a little under the weather, and let's just get this done with, and we'll hurry up and I'll be fine. Just like, I guess we'll take a little break, but we can't take a break long. And that's Zoe is very funny to me. She's just like bright-eyed, just like always ready for anything. I think that's the character I connect with the most, I think, is Zoe, of the, like, I have 57 contingencies and plans for anything at any time that like just I can just pull out of nowhere and like, let's try this, let's try that, let's try, like I don't know what's going to work, but I got a bunch of ideas. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll roll with any direction. I love that about her. So of course she's got all these little backup plans. So she takes Rumi to see Healer Han, who's honestly just a snake oil salesman with great people skills.
And what is it, grape juice?
Yeah.
But I like that he was, even if he was a snake oil salesman, he was really in tune with those girls.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He can tell exactly what somebody is, like, read them pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, well, this is your problem.
Yeah. I don't think grape juice is going to solve it, but...
No. Maybe he should just, like, go into, like, therapy. Because he's good at knowing people and understanding.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, they're there trying to help Rumi with her voice, and it's hard for her because it's like, if she could just open up to her best friends with the truth, they should be, based on the things they've said to her, like, they should be there for her with anything and everything. And she wants to believe that, but I don't know, when those friends are members in a pop group where your songs are about how demons will all die, it's scary, understandably.
Yeah.
Like you
It might affect things in a way you wouldn't expect, I guess. I don't know. Or a way you would expect. I mean, it's hard, but still, I feel like the three of them were so tight. I wish she had felt like she could tell them.
Yeah.
And I think that in friendship, sometimes there are those things where you don't want to ruin something by revealing something about yourself that you think is going to completely shatter what you've built, even though you think it's rock solid. If you say things out loud, it might prove that it's made of glass and not rock. And so I think I get where she was coming from. I related to Rumi a lot about the whole, cover it up, keep things buried down, because that's really how I feel sometimes, is afraid to speak up because I don't want to make someone, I don't want to annoy someone, I don't want to make someone unhappy with me, I don't want to rock the boat, even though I do rock the boat sometimes and I do speak up. But I think the closer I am with certain people, that is when I feel, though, even though I can trust them so much, there are still things that I bury that I won't say out loud because I just am afraid of the reaction. So I just keep it buried deep inside.
Yeah.
And that's not a way to live. It really isn't. And I also really related to Zoe being the weird and different kid, like that people thought she was, because I'm the weird and different person.
Yeah.
So,
but no Mira, no hot-headedness at all. You wouldn't.
I don't know, Peg. Yes, I do relate to Mira as
just messing with you,
as some people will attest to. Yes, I can be a volcano when I need to be, or when I don't need to be, and I can't always control it. But that usually comes from burying things for so long that I just explode.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, for me or you or anybody listening or any kids that this movie is definitely like aimed for watching, like, it's not really that you see yourself in one or the other of these. That no, people aren't one thing.
Right.
So I think all three of the members of Huntrix kind of, you can see yourself in all of them, all three of those, whether shame or feeling different or being hot-headed and sometimes blowing up and being aggressive when you don't need to. I think those are all three different things that everybody deals with from time to time in different places. So you can put yourself in any of those positions.
Absolutely. I think that the way they wrote the three Huntrix characters was a good cross-representation of personalities and quirks and just the differences, the different types of people that there are. And so I think maybe that was by design, so that especially the kids watching, could relate to a piece of each one, or maybe even parts or one in particular. Because I think you get more invested when you can see yourself in a character or connect to that with movies like this.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, after visiting Healer Han, that is when Huntrix meets the Saja boys, where we first see them. And at first they are quite smitten with their cuteness, and then they're jerks, and that fades pretty fast. Hot buttered popcorn and all. We talked about that.
I still, you know what, I'm glad that you explained it, but I still don't know why they went to those lengths, but it was kind of humorous to look at it, especially after Jeff was talking about it on Tuesday.
And then that leads into the musical number, of course, with Soda Pop, as we talked about. And while watching it, I mean, the girls are fuming. Well, mostly. Not really Zoe. Zoe just can't help but vibe and bop to Soda Pop. She's just...
Yep.
And eventually they all kind of start kind of shimmying a little bit, and it's like, okay, they all admit it's catchy. And then while they're like watching that performance and kind of dancing along, they realize, oh, the boys are demons.
Yep.
But why? You know, why? What are they doing? Because they're also like helping people out, and like, it's like, this isn't what demons usually do. Different tactic, as they kind of do put two and two together, and like, oh, they are going after the admiration of the fans.
Yep.
They're trying to lessen and combat the effect that we have on the Han Moon. Like, they're taking a different approach. Instead of just actively trying to attack and kill us, they're going after the source of how we build the barrier against them. And they're going after the fans, and not aggressively, although they are also sneaking around and stealing souls and stuff at the same time. But on the face, they are gaining the admiration and pulling fans away from Huntrix and splitting the fandom and putting more attention on them.
Mm-hmm. They need them. Need their admiration.
Yeah. So they gotta gear up and get ready to kill Saja. And I love that it says that on the buildings, and then as they're like, we're gonna gear up and get ready, go! And then you hear this little caw, which is Zoe. And I remember looking into something about that, if I remember right. Zoe's caw, which I love hearing that, was fully improvised by Ji Young Yu.
Oh my gosh.
She just threw that in there randomly, and they loved it so much they had to keep it because it was so ridiculous, and it was just part of like... It's like, yeah, because it's one of my favorite things whenever that scene, just to hear caw, like, yeah, she's nuts, but I love it.
Yeah.
Also, our leather has betrayed us is a fantastic joke. Fantastic bit. Love that.
When they were coming down that slide, I'm like, this is not going to go well for that very reason. Yeah. And the one fan in the audience rips his shirt off or lifts his shirt up or does something and it has Huntrix on it. Because they're there together. I mean, because as a fan, you can like two different things. You don't have to be one or the other.
Yeah.
But there are some fans out there who do not believe that. And they will ride or die by the one band, athlete, actor. They will ride or die by that.
Yeah. So they go in to like hunt down Saja boys. Instead, they end up on the game show with them in a bow off. Their leather has betrayed them. But after the show is gone, the boys run away real fast, and Huntrix takes the chase. So Rumi's finally going to the bathhouse. That's all her friends have wanted from her. Of course, it's the men's, though, unfortunately, because they're after the Saja boys for murder. That's what they want to do. They're not going to relax. They're going to murder.
No. So they really should have gone to one of those rooms where you can break stuff. Because that might have helped them get the anger out a little bit more. But that's not what it was about. This was about murder.
Yes. The bathhouse battle with the water demons. And that battle was a really cool sequence and scene. I mean, the demons are getting strong, and they need all three of them, but yet Rumi is letting Jinu distract her. She's going off after him specifically, and that's where he realizes her secret by slashing her, like, sleeve off of her shirt or her jacket. And then in a surprising little moment, whenever Mira and Zoe are about to turn to see that. He moves in the way and shields her from her friend's view and wraps her arm so they can't see it. And it's what starts this kind of friendship, frenemy kind of thing of like this interest in Genu and what his thing is.
Yeah.
And starts her down that path a little bit there.
Yeah. I was surprised that he did that because I really was expecting him to just be the bad guy and not have any redeeming qualities. But his story, he kind of got a redemption arc in some ways. He did that at the last second, and that just led me to believe there was more to him than what we had seen so far. And I think she was surprised that he did it. And because of that, it kind of just got her thinking about, you know, what is this guy's story? Why is he helping me? And I think he was at the point of thinking, this is a secret. They don't know. And wait, she's half demon. And I think in his head, he's trying to piece everything together and he can't. So not enough information was given at the time. So he had to do something to prolong.
Yeah.
Things.
His interest was piqued as well, where he was like, on the other end of it, like, she's a demon and yet she's with them and fighting. And it was because, and he doesn't really know that they don't know. He doesn't confirm that until they meet up because he kind of drops it like, and they don't know. And she's like, well, of course not. And he's like, I guessed that much.
Yeah.
Now you've confirmed it.
Yep.
Because he's trying to figure out what her deal is. And honestly, it seems like he's trying to connect. At this time, he's not. He's still fully bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's just trying to figure out her quirks, what it is about her. He is at this time trying to make her trust him so that he can use it against her.
Yes.
That is his plan still at this time.
And he looked at that as a way. Like, that was a thread he could pull.
Yeah.
And he needed to prolong it so he could figure out exactly why she wasn't telling her friends. Like, what was going on here? I don't think he expected that she was going to get under his skin as well.
Mm-mm. And he sends his little messengers.
I loved the messengers.
And his magpie over to send a message to meet up. Derpy and the Flower Pot is pure cinematic masterpiece in every way. That whole extended scene, that's my kind of humor, is Derpy just trying to pick the flower pot back up and it falling over, and then pulling it back up and falling over, and then pulling it back up and it wobbles a little bit and it's like, okay, and then it falls back over. She sets it up, is like, fine, there, and then he takes another step forward, he knocks it over again.
It was so fun. It
my
was
kind
so
of comedy.
Fun.
Derpy versus flower pot, perfection. And then it comes back later with the trash can in the room, and it's like, oh my god, what a great bit. I love it.
They're not afraid to do that, though. They're not afraid to, like, re-include something or do it again. Yeah. And I liked that. Because kids watching would probably have gotten an even bigger kick out of it. Like, remember that with the flower pot? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're saying my peak comedy is very childlike. And I would agree with you. It can be, absolutely.
Maybe it is. I don't know. Am I a fan of your comedy? That's a good question.
I don't know. But I do like those like side characters, I guess. Derpy and Sussy. Derpy the tiger and Sussy the magpie. They're, because not just also as like the comic relief characters that kind of pop up and they're goofy looking and weird. They're a really cool piece of Korean culture.
Yes.
That was made into characters for this movie. It is based on the Korean Jakodo, or the magpie and tiger pictures. And it is an art form of paintings and stuff that always have at least one tiger, at least one magpie. Sometimes there's multiples of different ones. But it's tigers and magpies is the theme. It's very, it's, in that regard, it's very exact. You've got to have those two things. They were traditionally displayed for the new year for good luck, warding off evil spirits. But it's also like a way of like Korean like humor and charm. It's an art piece that leans into humor and charm. Is, like I said, always has the tigers and the magpies, but the tiger is always looking really silly and dumb versus like a scary predator. He always has a real doofy face on. And that's part of it. So we have to... And then the magpie is kind of the opposite, which is always a little scary or very confident and alert, and is kind of the one that seems to be more in control.
I love that he had the hat, and then Genu explains, well, I made the hat for the tiger, but, the magpie keeps stealing it, and I loved that. I thought that was a really fun and clever thing.
Yeah. So Derpy and Sussy are they necessary to the story? No. Are they fun? Yes. Are they great merch for kids? Yes.
I love it. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of great Derpy stuff as well. He's fun.
Yeah.
Rumi decides to follow through with the message from them, meets up with Genu, curious about her patterns, as we talked about, that they're kind of curious about each other and what happened there with that bathhouse scene. And so he tells his story to her, or at least his version of it at first, where, he's mostly honest. He just left out maybe the most important part that paints him very selfishly. Yeah, he sold his soul to Guima so he could have incredible talent, and that earns him a place in the king's palace. He says that and when he tells the story to her at first, he says, me and my family all were in the palace, that his mother and sister there were with him, and they took in the whole family. And then after Guima, called him to the underworld and basically, called in on the debt and said, okay, your time is done, and pull you in. Then his family was thrown back out onto the streets. And so now he's trying to find a way. That's the shame that he covers, is that his family wasn't taken care of after he was gone.
Yeah.
And then, I think the last line that he says kind of in that was the only really true piece that he says, which is, every day since I've been haunted by the memory of failing them.
Yeah, I think that was true.
Yeah. But he failed them worse in the way than what he says, because as we learn later, he actively turned his back on them and enjoyed the wealth of the palace without them, had them thrown away, and basically oh, it's me and not them, bye, and just completely abandoned them.
Yeah. And that's a very important part of the story. That was just, he kind of glossed it over or ordered it in a clever way to not tell her the whole truth about it. It was the truth, but not in the order. The order was wrong.
Yeah. And so then he's kind of well, I told you my story, so then he's trying to get her to open up about whatever shame that her patterns are representing and hiding. And still at this time, it's ulterior motives. He is trying to figure out what makes her tick. What is her weakness? What's that point that I can really cut and stab into? How do I defeat her? I've got to figure out what she's about.
Yeah.
So he's definitely playing it up for his own gain. But I think he's actually affected in some ways. Some of the things she says, I think, sit with him a little bit. And then it's at the joint table, at the joint signing, where this little girl comes up and hands him a picture that she drew for him, telling him that he has, and the wording was very important. They focus on, you have a beautiful soul. And that is what has an impact on him. It starts the spark. That's the moment, I think, that starts the spark that leads to the final choice he does make in the movie.
Yeah. I think he's reminded of who he could have been, or a piece of him that still lives inside him, that there are things he can do now that can make things better for someone else.
Yeah.
And that there is good, it's still there in him.
And Rumi's seeing some of that humanity in him, even if that's his plan and is just a tactic at first, as he's trying to make her believe that there's humanity in him to catch her off her guard. But it's working.
Mm-hmm.
On both of them, as we see him kind of talking, because we see her not feeling comfortable about the lyrics that they're writing for Takedown, that now that she's gotten to know Genu a little bit, it feels too harsh and too brutal. She's having these thoughts of, I should see it from his side. Maybe, the pain, when I see the pattern, instead of I see evil in you, now she's writing lyrics when your patterns show pain behind your eyes, that there's something, she's really falling for it. His tactics are working. But on the other hand, after conversations with her, he is also thinking, maybe she's right. Maybe I do have some kind of redemption. Maybe I do have a second chance. Maybe if I do work with her and help this golden honeymoon happen, that there can be a second chance for me, a happy ending for me, that I can maybe put trust in her to keep me on this side of it and give me an opportunity at a better life and try to make up for my mistakes and the things that I'm shameful for. But also it's really dark as that's going on. The Saja boys and the demons are out there just wiping people from existence for real. Like the subway train and like the people at the bathhouse and like just random like people like in the street. Because they even have like a little mention of like missing people posters and like the missing people reports are going. And you're like, oh, this like Mira's right. The stakes are very high. It is high stakes. And that's why them being on Rumi so hard about getting her head in the game is understandable, because it's not just these people are bad and they're trying to like undo our good deeds. They're literally like killing and taking people's souls.
Yeah, they are. And you see it happening. But I think that Rumi is right when she talks to Mira and Zoe about the lyrics in the song. Their music has not been that dark like that. It isn't what they're known for, and to speak to their fans, it's not the type of song that they're going to gravitate to. And honestly, it sounds very villainous.
Yeah.
But empowering at the same time, like in some way. So, yeah, I think that they are really not on the same page, but they're starting to get back to it.
Yeah. Well, because for normal fans that don't know the whole demon underbelly of everything that's going on, where they think it's just two K-pop groups that are like feuding for the top spot, for them to like release and perform a song that's like, you're a demon and you don't deserve to live and we're gonna like, it's like, okay, that's a little harsh. That's a little like, why are you jealous? Why are you hating on them so hard? You know, like I think it wouldn't do them a service to release like and do a song like that anyway.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. But I also get why they were angry and wanted to do it.
Yeah.
All of this evil was happening, and they're the only ones that really know it and see it happening. And they wanted to, have a throwdown, basically. A musical throwdown with the other band. Yeah. So, I get that. Yeah.
But after the conversations with Jinu, Rumi's floundering the day before these Idol Awards, which is when they need to strengthen that honeymoon the most. So it's a huge problem that she's really floundering. But I love that they do have a really great conversation with each other. Where what Zoe says was like, of course it's not the right song, because how is it going to bring our fans together if it can't bring us together? If we're split on it, then it's not going to have the effect we want. So they have Golden to lean on. At least they can go back to that.
And which is a new song for them. It's one that was viral, recent. Yeah. It makes perfect sense for them to go with it.
Yeah. And as I mentioned, Jinu and Rumi talking, Jinu's words to her have helped her too. He has said some things that have like also like really helped ground her. As I mentioned, that her voice is getting better. She's like feeling more confident. And that's good, because the following song, Free, is so good. And that number, the duet between the two of them, love that one. Good.
I get why Golden is the nominated song, but I have to tell you that the Free is so beautiful. The lyrics in that song, I don't think there's a song on, like, at least, like, on this soundtrack that misses. They're all very good. Yeah. The whole thing, we can't fix it if we never face it. Let's let the past be the past till it's weightless. It's like, man, if we could all do that, and then what if we heal what's broken? It's just like, yes, if we could do that, it would be great. Those are powerful words. And after that number, that song, I think that's where Rumi really does get through to Jinu, officially. I think he would have thrown the awards performance and lost so that her plan would work. Except that Gima still has that hold on him and pulls him back and threatens him again with the shame, the despair, the voices, the constant reminders of the things he's done wrong.
So it's not going to be that easy. And he flips back.
Yeah, he can. I have to feel like her love was healing him, and not in the couple love, but him seeing love in her love of her friends, her love of the world.
Yeah.
Was affecting him and warming his heart. Yeah. And I think that helped him.
So then as we get to the Idol Awards, we've seen Jinu's conversation with Vima, so we kind of feel, we realize he's probably flipped back, but Rumi's going in fully expecting, okay, me and Jinu patched things up, this is the plan, smooth sailing, we're going back, we're doing golden, everything's going to be great. And then that whole performance, quite the scene. The
mashup, that whole mashup, how it flips, oh my gosh. Man.
Yeah, because the Saja Boys set up like a fake fight with themselves that puts Huntrix on stage first. So even giving her more confidence and more just like, oh, this is going to be easy. And it's like, that's how he helped out. Okay, cool. The plan's working. Because now we just get to go out perform. They're going to be off their game. We're going to get the win. And then while she's on stage alone for the solo moment, they swap out demons, two of the members, with Zoe and Mira by distracting them, pulling them aside, and then hit Rumi they turn the lyrics of Takedown on her. Mm-hmm. Those lyrics they wrote. We see the patterns that are on you, and you're nothing but a demon, you don't deserve to live, and all of these like lyrics that she felt uncomfortable about now turned on her.
They were weaponized. The lyrics were weaponized against her. Mm-hmm. And she knew how they sounded when she was thinking about it being sung out to Jinu and his boys. Mm-hmm. To have them sung to her and turned against her was even worse. She didn't even know what was happening. She couldn't understand how Zoe and Mira, because that's who she saw. She didn't see them as demons. She saw them. And so that put her in this incredibly vulnerable state where she thinks her friends have learned what she is and they're tearing her apart.
Yeah. And then through that, the real bandmates are sitting backstage watching this happen and see her true nature revealed. And so the secret is out to them now. It's very poetic. It's poetically diabolical. Mm-hmm. As much as it's a terrible thing to have done, you got to give Jinu some credit. It was quite the move. And, because with that, the group, Huntrix is disbanded. The girls don't trust Rumi. Jinu managed to pull one over on her. The Han Moon is just fully breaking apart and dissolving and crumbling. Everything they've worked for is just gone.
This is, too, when you get to see the true power of evil with Gima infecting everyone. Mm-hmm. Preying on those weaknesses.
Yeah. That demonic pull strong on people. I mean, even Bobby, Zoe, and Mira we see affected with their own insecurities and shames and things. And the Saja Boys have a midnight performance that's set to take the world for Gima, basically destroy the Han Moon completely and, flip. Exact opposite of what Huntrix has been trying to do. And Rumi on the outside of that has gone back to kind of the, there's this tree that, her mother's grave is by there. That's where we see her as a little girl with Celine, and she meets back up with Celine here. And she feels like she'll never be accepted. And, we see her struggling through this, even with Celine there. And she just leans into her demon side even further, because even through everything that's going on, Celine is still telling her
cover up.
You should just cover it up. You should hide it better. There's a way out of this. We just keep lying and keep lying. And that's where she has that moment of if this is the Han Moon that we're fighting for, then you know what? I'm glad that it's being destroyed.
Yeah. Because it's not the good and pure thing that she's been led to believe. I mean, mm-hmm. It is about not massive deceit, but containment, I guess. of everything, making it so that it's like a false sense of this is the good thing, because she's still going to have to cover up and pretend at least till it's over. And is there really a guarantee? Because I have to tell you, in when they do go to the spa at the end of the movie, she's still got like imprints of things. So yeah,
they didn't fully close it off. It's just kind of by defeating, getting rid of Gima. It's I think kind of the message there is like, could there be redemption even for the demons? Like, she saw that possibility in Ginu. So it's like, maybe that's not just all evil and all bad. That like people's shame, people's mistakes don't just make them bad forever.
Right. You can make a mistake and come back from it.
And so she's kind of gladly wearing those patterns at the end and just embracing those as part of who she is, that she knows she's accepted and understood even with them on at this point, that there's just, the scars of the past just make us who we are.
Right.
You can't just get rid of them and, pretend it never happened and then be fine. That like, no, it's what makes you who you are, and it's fine. And
sometimes scars can be visible or hidden. They can be emotional scars as well.
But yeah, I alluded to it earlier when you mentioned it. So I will say, going back a little bit to that midnight performance, I don't even care that the Saja boys are the bad guys, because that Your Idol performance is the best. The song slaps, the visuals, the colors, everything. So cool. It would work on me. I'm a fan. Like I said, that's the concert I want to be at. Is the dark culty vibes with them floating in the air, and like, yes, please give me that one. I love it.
So you're gonna be taken by the Gima Pied Piper.
If that's the show I get to see, then yes.
Because that's what it was like when they were all kind of going. That's all I could think about was, this is the Pied Piper. He is just leading them to destruction.
But at least they're going out with the biggest banger of the movie. So,
Oh, it's a banger, all right. You gave me your heart, now I'm here for your soul. Yes. I will make you free when you're all a part of me. I'm just like, what? They don't even care. They don't care that Saga boys, is it Saja or Saga? Saja boys look like demons now. They don't care. No interest. They're just focused on they've drunk the Kool-Aid. Like, they're into it now.
Yeah. It's a great performance. What a great show. But no, then the way that it rolls right into Rumi's appearance and what it sounds like, perfection. That it's a great 1-2 punch, because that's a strong emotional beat as well. The power is palpable, the feeling, the emotion of that song and that last number as they fight. And, because it comes out, the Han Moon is destroyed, but we'll build a new one. And we'll build it on a stronger foundation than what the last one was.
Yeah. One that's built on truth, one that's built on strength and being who you are instead of hiding it.
Yeah. And then, of course, Ginu sacrificing himself to turn the tide against Gima. Because then we learn because of Rumi, he regained his soul. He did get a soul back. And then he's going to give her that newly regained soul in order to help do that and turn the tide. So, yeah, it's a great song, great sequence, and that connection is stronger than ever before. So the power over the people is gone. Gima is defeated, along with all the other Saja boys. I love that, Mystery has got the hair in his face the whole time, and finally Zoe's able to lift it up and goes, "Oh, you are my type. Oh, well, too bad."
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, the names that they had, the other Saja boys. Ginu had a name, but then there's Mystery, Abby, Romance, and Baby. What the heck? Who was writing this? Who was writing that? I mean, it's perfect for kids. Like, that part is perfect for kids.
Yeah. So I do like, will I say that the ending is a little rushed for me? Yeah, I think the ending is a little too rushed for me to say it's a perfect movie. But I think it's still easily one of my absolute favorites of the last year, no doubt. But yeah, because I don't know, it clocks in at like an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, kids' attention spans aren't as long, as super long. I don't need this to be a 3.5 hour epic like Avatar. But
no.
But I don't know. I feel like there's just like some chunk missing when the last line we hear from Rumi before she shows up to sing this final number is leaning fully into her demon thing. Well, I'm glad the Hanmoon's destroyed. And the next thing you know, she's, you know, where exactly does she go from that to realizing that she can reunite with her friends and turn that and like win this? Like there's a scene missing for me that would just like perfectly combine that. They
cut out a couple of stories because of the runtime, and this was part of it. One was around Jinu's sister growing up to be the first hunter.
Ooh, interesting.
Could have been very cool. Another one had the Saja boys and Huntrix competing in a physical sports arena. That could have been I don't know. I want to know, the question I want to know is, who's Rumi's father? If she's half demon.
I could see that being a storyline for the sequel when that happens, is diving more into what that's about.
Yeah. I was curious. I thought that might be something we would learn.
Yeah. Because it's like, what leads it? Because we know it's like a line of thing. Her mother was part of the last generation of hunters before Huntrix. So like her mom was a demon hunter musician that held that role. How does she end up having a child with a demon? Like, what is...
Yeah.
We don't get any of that.
No.
So it's like, how does that happen?
It's a great story, and I'm really interested, in what... how did it transpire? How did she get to this point?
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to me. So.
But, yeah, I think that pretty much does it for me. I think I covered all my bases.
There were a couple of things I found out when I was putting this together. The character of Rumi was created by Kang and her husband for her husband's comic called Plastic Walrus. And then they later repurposed it and turned it into the Rumi that we have in K-Pop Demon Hunters. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah.
The names of the members of the Saja Boys, with the exception of Jinu, are describing different K-pop type, like, archetypes.
Mm-hmm.
The term Saja alludes to, like, Josong Saja, which is a figure in Korean folklore that's comparable to the Grim Reaper, and to the Korean word for lion, with the image of a lion head being used for the Saja Boys logo.
Mm-hmm.
And the band's fandom being referred to as the Pride.
Yeah.
So it all kind of fits in there together. In Korean folklore, Josong Saja are the Grim Reaper figures who escort souls of the dead to the afterlife. So, I mean, it kind of, is like the souls are being escorted to Guima. And the typical way that they're portrayed in folklore, they're wearing a black hanbok and gat, which is a wide-brimmed hat. So it's really like the Saja boys in their demon entities in that form of their manifestation. So, yeah, that is all I had.
And I, you pointing that out, and I pointed out a couple other things, and you did, like, we pointed some of the stuff out, but I'm sure there's even more, like, great, like, cultural Korean imagery and stuff that we didn't even, like, touch on or notice that is in this that you could probably dive into.
Absolutely. There's so much. I could have gone down a rabbit hole for days, and I cut myself off and said, nope, we're not going to do that. So, I think that we have covered it.
Awesome. We got it, yeah.
If you had told me at the beginning of the year that we were going to cover a movie that was based on K-pop and involved hunting demons, I would have tried to figure out how the heck that could possibly happen. And yet we just did.
Did. And I know there was a handful of people that were hoping to hear us talk about this one, so I hope they listened, and I hope they enjoyed. And I hope that, well, as I was saying, that they maybe left in some feedback. So let's, almost as if perfect timing, let's go see what the feedback phone has on it.
Okay.
All right, we do actually have a good little bit of feedback this week here for KPop Demon Hunters, which, yay, I'm excited. Definitely wanted to hear, some great stuff from our listeners. I think we've got some good stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and throw in a little teaser on that. We even have the thoughts from the kids, which is always what I kind of joke about or wonder about when it comes to these movies. We're making it family friendly for the kids to also not listen to. So I'm glad that we do have some thoughts.
We do. I was going to ask my nieces, but I thought that they would think I was being lame, so I didn't.
Yeah, I had kind of a similar thing as one of the kids that I work with at the school I know is a fan of this movie, and I almost would be like, hey, tell me your thoughts about it. But I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that.
No, it's better not to. Well, I will kick us off. Catherine, thank you for sending in your feedback. This week, she says, feedback this week comes from my 6-year-old who has watched K-Pop Demon Hunters at least 100 times and is part of a group of girls who practice their K-pop concerts during recess. Oh my God, that has to be adorable.
Yeah.
In her expert opinion, it's a good movie because it has great songs and great parts and great characters. Zoe and Derpy Tiger are the cutest. Baby Saja is the most handsome. Rumi is probably the best because she's the one who sings the golden part. My favorite part is when Mystery does this, proceeds to bark at me. I wasn't able to get further feedback once she went into Mystery dog mode. Thank you, Catherine. Oh my gosh, that was adorable.
Yes. We have one from Maria. Here it says, I watched this before my 11-year-old daughter did. The songs slap, story is great, and K-pop demons / Saja boys are kinda hot.
Latrice Irene says, I honestly love the movie. I listen to the songs at least once a week and attended the sing-along at the movie theater. Oh my gosh, that would be so fun. I cry every time I sing Golden or Free. It's just a release of emotions and having fun. My 7-year-old son has taught himself the Saja Boys dance routine to the song Your Idol. Oh, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I almost want to say, I'd like to see that, but only if that's... But that's cool. That really
is cool. So cool. I think having a boy group really reeled him in. There are not a lot of them in animation. For this being our first interaction with K-pop, we really enjoyed this. Latrice, awesome. I don't think we have gotten feedback from you before, so thank you so much for sending in feedback. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, hopefully we'll hear from you again. Stick around for some other stuff we got going on. All right, this last one is a big one, and I just mean by I'm going to be reading for the next 4 hours straight, and I'm kidding. Love you, Penny. But yeah, because this one comes from Penny, which when we get to the shout-outs, Penny, of course, one of the hosts of the Still Slaying podcast, and they did cover this movie over there a little while back, earlier last year, so... I know that she has some thoughts on it, and she sent some our way. So yeah, hi Daphne and Pake. I really struggled to decide what to say about this phenom of a film. There's so much to love. The catchy as hell music, the variety of animation styles, the silliness, the themes of found family, of being true to yourself, generational trauma, girl power, and the way Korean folklore is woven throughout. But I landed on the way the film characterizes and deals with shame. Shame is an innately human emotion. It serves a valuable purpose in building our morals. You do something wrong, you feel shame, which is deeply uncomfortable. You learn not to do that wrong thing again. Society relies on this. Where it goes wrong is when shame is given to children for things they didn't cause and cannot fix. Celine is doing what she thinks is right, raising Rumi to protect her by teaching her to hide her patterns, the physical manifestation of her shame. Rumi grows up to be seemingly perfect, warrior, singer, leader, but always separate, always alone with her shame, fear, and doubt. She spent a lifetime lying, compounding the shame. It's no wonder she becomes attached to Jinu so quickly. He's someone she can share this burden with. Her shame makes her vulnerable to manipulation. The song they sing together isn't about happiness or power or even love. It's about freedom. Freedom from shame. The scene where Rumi confronts Celine is powerful and beautiful. She refuses to maintain the secrecy and lies, sheds the demand of a perfect facade and the loneliness it requires, and only then can she see a path forward. And her courage to be herself inspires her team and empowers them to free themselves as well. The resulting Hanmoon isn't golden, it's multicolored, because homogeneity and perfection isn't as strong as diversity. This rainbow Hanmoon will be resilient because it's based on truth, not an illusion. I could keep talking about this movie for hours. Keep slaying, Penny.
Penny, oh my god, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, that really hits. Because looking at shame, it's come up in conversations that I've had recently, just about, like, personal conversations about, you know, how you're brought up to be a certain way and don't do this and don't do this because you don't want to be difficult. And if you do that, then feel bad about it. Don't be yourself. And your feedback really hits that square on the head. So thank you so much.
Yes.
So if you want to leave feedback, there are multiple places you can do it. We have a channel on the Podcast Good Discord server. It's getting a little active, so you can join us there. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Run For Your Lives Podcast, or you can email us, runforyourlivespodcast@gmail.com. You can find all the links that you're ever going to need at our website, runforyourlivespodcast.com. And if you're enjoying the show, tell your friends. We are available on all the podcast players, including Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and more. If you're feeling so inclined, give us a review on Apple Podcasts, as that is the best way to share the love and get us out there even more. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely, we do. And of course, speaking of sharing the love, you know, I got to give those shout outs to things going on in the Podcastica universe around us and beyond. A lot of good podcasts for you to check out. Of course, like The Cast of Us, where the Walking Dead rewatch continues on. This week, Lucy and Jason finishing up season 5 with the finale there, episode 16. So, yeah, they've been trucking through with that rewatch. So definitely check that out. If you are a fan of The Walking Dead, listening to that rewatch with them or want to jump in, definitely a place to do that over at The Cast of Us. Then over on Wax Episodic, of course, they have wrapped up their coverage of Fallout right now. So now they're going back to an older show to get ready for new seasons coming in the future, whenever. But, of course, a lot of people have liked Severance and wanted some Severance coverage over on Podcastica. First 2 seasons were not covered on Podcastica, unfortunately, but they will be now, as Jason and Karen are going to be diving into the current, or the seasons that are out of Severance, finally jumping into that, doing it in kind of a spoiler-free version, watching each episode as if they haven't seen the whole series ahead, kind of looking at it episode to episode. And then, of course, there'll be some spoilery sections and stuff for people who want to get in that. But I say that just so if you have not watched Severance and you need a good excuse to finally get around to it, this is your time to do that. And you can also listen to a podcast that's not going to spoil you for future episodes yourself. So that's a way to jump in on that one. Also over on Dragoncast, season 1, episode 5 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which we only have 1 episode left now. It's so short. Why are they so short? Because I need 50 billion more episodes of this show. It's my comfort, and I love it so much. And I want to spend every day with Dunk and Egg. I love them so much.
Oh, man. You know, after episode 1, I wasn't quite sure what I thought of everything. But by episode 2, I just adore Dunk and Egg.
Yes.
It's so lovely, and I don't want it to be over yet. And episode 5, no spoilers, but oh my god.
Yeah, it's incredible. And so I'm excited to see what the finale holds this weekend, but definitely go check out the coverage of the first 5 episodes, even all of them, if you haven't listened to any of them. And if you haven't watched the show, freaking do that. But yeah, over in Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Dragoncast, Rennie, Veronica, and Rima this week covering that. So check out that. And yeah, I don't know, I might have to... I do things with certain, like, finales and stuff where I'll get, especially Dimension 20, I'll usually get some kind of food item that I'll order and eat while watching the finale that somehow ties into that season, because I'm weird like that, whether it's chili or Pazookies. So I think for Night of the Seven Kingdoms, it's a joke I've made several times, think I'm going to have to do some like IHOP or something, and I'm going to do like a breakfast for dinner when I watch the finale this weekend. I'm going to get some real runny eggs and some toast and be dunking eggs while I'm watching Dunkin' Egg. It's going to be a good time.
Oh, man. I wasn't sure where you were going with that, but then when you got there, I get it now. That's
I think so.
Good. Yeah, good job.
That might be my plan this week. Anyway, yes, Dragoncast covering such a great show, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Anyway, They Did What is another podcast here, kind of one of the newer ones on Podcastica, covering a lot of documentary and true crime and real life stuff. So Kelsey and Jen are on there this week discussing the documentary Qualified, which is about 8 women battling for 4 spots on the 2026 U.S. Olympic Moguls team. So very current, very new.
Yeah.
So definitely check that out. A lot of cool documentary stuff over there. They know what they're doing. Again, this is like Oscar season right now. I mentioned this even last week. They covered Alabama Solution way before nominations and stuff. Like, they're on the ball. They know what's going on.
They do. So
check that out as well. And then we heard from Penny, and I mentioned over on the Still Slaying podcast, you can go over there, go give her some love as she did to us this week, and check out her and Sam discussing some Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 4, Episode 21 this week. So you can definitely check out that. They're kind of picking some of their favorite episodes across Buffy and Angel. And so that's what they're doing, and they're going to keep doing that until, from as far as I know, when we get the new Buffy, not really reboot, not really spin-off, but just kind of continuation series that's coming up. I think they'll be covering that and stuff. So go get to know them, listen to some cool episodes, and then you'll be on the ride for the new stuff when it happens. And then, as I say, of course, beyond podcast, because we do got to give some love to some other great networks that we know and love and friends that run those things. So, of course, the Pirate Core Entertainment Podcast Network, What's On Tonight, has been crushing it over there on Pirate Core. Of course, that is Becky and Mandy talking about The Pit, Season 2. So as that continues to run on, definitely make sure you're checking out their coverage of The Pit. Show has been top notch. I will get on it soon.
I know. I feel like I need to watch it too, and I've just not had time. And I need to make time.
Yes.
I need to make time. I think they also had an interview up this week as well. They have been crushing it with interviews. They're able to get some of the cast on there and talk with them. They had Gavin Brink on. He's a composer for The Pit.
Nice. Yeah, so go check out their coverage of the show, and then even the interviews they've done with cast and crew from the show. It's really cool. And then also over on the Panels to Pixels podcast, again, you can check out coverage of the Disney Plus Marvel series Wonder Man. So you'll get that. That's a lot of fun as well. Some really unique and fun stuff for Marvel there, so check that out. And also our good friends over at TV Podcast Industries have their Wonder Man coverage up over there as well, so definitely go give them some love too. If you want more of me and Daphne, you can check out us with our good friends Jeff and Jerry over on the Buffalo podcast, where we're just ridiculous and crazy and fun. At least I think we're having a lot of fun over there. We're just there to make each other laugh and play ridiculous games and talk, catch up, be goofy. Be some goofy boys and girl. It's a good time.
Yes, boys and girls. Yep. More like I am the leader, or I am the manager, or I am the herder who is trying to corral the cats.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's kind of how it goes. But we do have a blast. It's a lot of fun.
But then you have to make sure you put us into a really tight space that holds us in place. So not just herd us, but be a girder. You need to be a herder-girder. Do them both. Get real hurdy-gurdy with it.
You know what's ridiculous? We started that podcast because we were gaming every Tuesday night, and we never game anymore.
We're too busy recording that podcast now.
It's like, what? I kind of want to play Fall Guys again someday, maybe. Pake, it's been so long you'd have to update the game.
Yeah, and that'll take 4 years. So we'll see. All right, so yeah, a lot of great stuff for you to go check out and go listen to. And then, of course, we still have a couple more episodes this season right here, so you can come back with us next week. We got something fun for you that it's been a long time coming, honestly, a little overdue, but it's Oscar season, so we're going to make it happen. Daphne, what is that? What are we doing next week?
Well, a covert extraction team is enlisted and dispatched to a forbidden island to harvest DNA from 3 massive dinosaur species in hopes of creating a revolutionary life-saving drug. When they're stranded alongside an unsuspecting civilian family, the operation spirals into a desperate battle for survival and a chilling discovery connected to the island's darkest secrets. It's Oscar season. We are discussing the 2025 film Jurassic World Rebirth. Was directed by Gareth Edwards, and Pake and I saw it together in the theater last July.
Yeah. Only took good, solid 7-8 months, whatever it is, to finally cover it. That's fine. But it's here, because it is up for Best Visual Effects at the Oscars this year, so we're throwing it in. We're making sure it gets done.
Yeah. I'm excited to get this one out there. It's always fun to get to talk about dinosaurs.
Yeah.
With that, it brings us to the end of another fun episode. Thanks, everyone, for listening. I'm Daphne.
And I'm Pate.
And if you have to run, you better run for your lives.
Caw-caw! And it actually makes sense this week.